Good morning from Switzerland. This is my first vlog on my new camera. Who am I? I'm gonna make a drink. I feel so tired today. It's 8 o'clock. It's past 8 now, and I usually wake up quite fresh. But we had a bit of a late night last night. I don't know why. You know, everything. I was in the bath for ages, and everything just transpired to be a bit later. So I'm gonna make a hot drink. I have this jug that I bought over here, and it's so fabulous, like a diffuser jug, and I love that with lemon and ginger in the morning. So I'm gonna do that and do a bit of my morning routine. I am 18 weeks pregnant, so I had my first hospital appointment last Thursday over here, and it was amazing. The doctor was amazing, the hospital was amazing. She scanned me, she told us that we are having a little boy, which we were so excited to find out. That's all we really wanted to know, was everything okay and were we having a boy or a girl. And at first she was scanning and she was like, oh, I'm 80% sure it's a girl, because I mean the legs are together, but I'm just 80% certain because I can't see anything. And then she sort of she did all the measurements and came back to looking for the sex, and then she was like, oh, okay, the legs are opened, I'm sure it's a boy. So I think it's harder when it's a girl to confirm. But when she saw what she saw, she was like, boy. At first I was a bit worried. I thought, oh no, have we got a boy with her? Small money. But no, I think it's just hard to see. I was surprised. At 17 weeks I thought you would see easily, but she was like, no, it can be difficult. So I'm going back in 4 weeks for a different scan in a different department, which is where they measure, they do all the sort of important checks and measurements. But she said everything looks good. I'm having quite a big baby. On the chart with the growth, it's above average, which I expected because I feel like I've got quite a big bump. You probably can't see here, but for 17 weeks at the time when I had my appointment, I just feel like, luckily I don't feel particularly big anywhere, or like I've put on loads of weight anywhere else, but my bump is just really bumpy, which I sort of love because, I don't know, I just love being pregnant. So yeah, let me make my drink. Fresh ginger and lemon is what I use. When I was living in the UK, I had a blender, and I would blend a load of fresh ginger with some lemon and keep it in a jug in the fridge, and I would add that to some hot water in a flask every morning. Very strong but delicious and so good for you. Ginger is really good anti-inflammatory, and it's very warming, so you shouldn't drink anything cold in the morning because it's not good for your metabolism. It just shuts everything down. You want hot warmth, and that's the same with food, especially for fertility. I had to learn that the hard way. I was eating a lot of yogurts at one point, and yogurt is not good for your fertility. It's very cold and damp, so you want warming foods, nourishing foods, eggs, porridge, that sort of thing. So yeah, now I'm rambling, but when I was in my first trimester, about week 6, maybe a bit before, I really suffered with sickness, and the thought of anything like that blended ginger was just too much. I managed to have chopped ginger in hot water for a bit, but I've got this pile of stuff I need to put away. But yeah, the thought of having fresh ginger blended, oh god, sickness is grim. There is nothing worse than morning sickness. It's like a constant hangover. And is there anything worse than a constant hangover? No. And I've not been drunk or hungover since me and Joe, my partner, went on our first date, which will be coming up to a year in October. We got really drunk. We had a great time, obviously. But I just don't really drink anymore. I like the odd drink, and I used to be a bit of a wildcat I still love going out and drinking, and the summer before I sort of went a bit crazy. But to be honest, I've never really enjoyed alcohol. I sort of have done it to get drunk and have fun, and maybe felt the pressure at times. So I feel like I'm in a really good place where obviously I can't drink now, I'm pregnant, but that I've not had to do that for a long time. I've been really settled and happy, and we can have lots of fun together, and me and Joe, and I can go out with friends and family, and I don't feel the need to drink. And I think that's changing. I think a lot of people are probably quite similar now. Drinking is just I can't deal with the way it makes me feel. And I'm a bit of a nutcase when I'm drunk anyway, so I'm doing everyone a favour. Right, so here is my jug. How gorgeous is this? I got it from a home shop over here. I think it's called Mason's Demont. No, it wasn't. It was somewhere else. It was like a bit of an IKEA, and I just loved it. I smashed the first one because, if you know me, you know I'm very clumsy. But yeah, I just love this. So I let it sit for 10 minutes, and then I pour away. Now, usually I would add again, my mouth. Usually I would add electrolytes. Either the Ancient Brave powder, which is better, I think has better sort of minerals and quality, or the Trace Minerals. This one's easier because it's just drops and it doesn't taste of anything. This one has coconut water in, so better hydration. But I've sort of run out of both of them, so I need to order. Everyone loves Humantra. I was looking at Humantra because the flavours are supposed to be really good. And I think I've tried one before, but the thing with Humantra that I don't like is it's good quality, but it has a lot of like natural flavours and flavouring in, and natural flavours can be hidden MSG. If you don't know what MSG is, it's monosodium glutamate. It's stuff they add in Chinese. It's just not a good added ingredient. And I read somewhere, I've done quite a lot of research into food and health, and natural flavours can be a way of hiding MSG, but it's not always. So I'm a bit like on the fence with the Humantra. I need to really look into it again because it's quite handy that they're in sachets. You can just pour it in your water. I had this without anything in. Sometimes I would have added the drops. I don't add the coconut water in. And then I've got a water bottle I would take to the gym in the morning, and I would put my electrolytes with some collagen peptides and shake it up and drink that when I was there. I think it's sometimes better to sit as well throughout the day, not just glug. Your body absorbs better. So that's another thing to bear if you're just glugging cold electrolytes in the morning. That's not really optimal, bear that in mind. I'm ranting and I've been talking for, I don't actually know because this camera's new so I can't see. 8 minutes. Just seen. So I'll let that sit and I will do some skincare with you. So I'm going to do my skincare that I do in the morning. Sometimes, in fairness, I don't do it as intensely if I'm going to the gym. I might just wash my face and go straight to the gym. There's just no point. It depends on the workout that I'm doing as well. I'm doing a lower today, so I do get quite sweaty and I might swim. But I think I'm going to go this afternoon. Bit rogue, because the later it gets, the more I don't want to do it. But Joe has a football game at 3 o'clock. He's taking the kids to. So I'm going to have a bit of time in the afternoon, and I might just go for a walk this morning and chill out and do some work on my computer. So I'm still waiting for a working visa. I don't just not work on purpose. I mean, it is quite lovely, but I'm still waiting for a working visa. It's quite difficult in Switzerland if you're not married, and we're not married. And if we were engaged, I would sign the paper and get it done, but we're not engaged. So I feel like I don't want to do that for the sake of a working visa, although it's getting to the point now where I'm like, could do with work. Yeah, that's that though. So Monday's usually my cleaning day, but the house is really clean, so because I have OCD. So I'm gonna do a bit of hoovering, I think, and whatnot. Right, I'm just gonna wash my face with some warm water. In fact, I'm gonna do a little bit cleanser as well. I cleanse with the CeraVe, and I also cleanse with Upcircle brand. It's on the bath because I had a bath last night. Cleansing. This brand is so good. I love it. It's so natural. It's so clean. It's made from recycled plant material and food waste, and it sounds pretty minging actually when I say it like that. Is it food waste or am I just going crazy? I have baby brain. Discarded argan shells in the face moisturiser. You'll have to look it up, Upcircle. It's just a really clean, fresh brand and no nasties in. I like to, you know, minimise the toxic load on my body as much as I can, and it's a really good skin brand that does everything. Not super active ingredients, you know, I don't use retinol or anything like that. I think there's quite a lot of controversy over retinol now, whether we should use it. I don't have loads of facials or loads of skin stuff, you know, like lasers or anything like that. I've never had anything like that, and luckily, like, my skin I think is really great, and I do think that's a reflection of what I put on the inside, to be honest. So I do look after myself with what I eat and you know, how I take care of myself, and I think that's half the problem. A lot of people, when they get bad skin, jump to buy all the new expensive creams and think that it's their skin, when really it's likely the liver screaming at you that there's something wrong and it can't clear out. So anyway, I'm using some CeraVe, the blue one. It's in German because I have to buy from the Amazon German in Switzerland. But I really like the CeraVe products. They have I think they've got the active ingredients, haven't they? It's salicylic acid in there. And I'm not too sure what the nasties are in that. You could probably look on the Yucca app. I don't have that app. Maybe because I'd be scanning everything. And I think it's about balance. I try to tell myself anyway. Be healthy, and then have a chocolate cake and a glass of wine if you want. Balance. So yeah, I use CeraVe to just give my face a nice clean and wash it in the morning. I'm going to brush my teeth whilst my face dries a little bit. Now another one that's really good to use, this isn't cream obviously, Alident toothpaste. Highly recommend this. It's fluoride free, you can buy it on Amazon. I'm running low and my next order's not due until Thursday. That's the other thing here, like if you order something on Amazon, expect it to arrive in 6 working weeks. Just probably put a bit too much on that. But yeah, Alident toothpaste is fluoride free, and fluoride is a really bad ingredient for our body. It's been shown, I think, to cause brain damage, or it can, well, that's probably a bit extreme, but it's not good for your brain. And it's added to tap water in the UK supposedly to protect our teeth, because people think it's good for your teeth, and it's just not really. I'm sure maybe small amounts are, but the amount that we consume, no. So luckily in Switzerland the tap water is amazing. 80% I think is from underground fresh sources, and there's no fluoride, and it tastes incredible. So that is a winner, because I used to drink a lot of bottled water in the UK, and bottled water is not good because of the microplastics. So the only way you can really win is if you have a, what's the word now, my brain's not going to work, reverse osmosis water machine. Because the filtration, even on the fridges, the filtration systems just don't filter out fluoride. So that's something to bear in mind. I sound like I'm scaring everyone. But yeah, fluoride-free toothpaste is a great way to start to just minimise the fluoride in your body. Okay, so next up is the tongue scraper. Tongue scraping is really good in the morning. For getting all that bacteria out. When you pull your tongue out, you can see the white on your tongue. To be fair, mine doesn't look too bad. but all that unwanted bacteria, it's not needed, you know, it's not what you want. This tongue scraper is a really good one because it's 100% copper, which is what you want apparently. It needs to be copper. I got mine off Health, Healf. Their website's great because all of their products have been checked for quality and supplements tested and that sort of thing. But yeah, I think I've burnt it a bit. A couple of times with this in the morning, and it just keeps everything fresh. One thing I've not got into is oil pulling, and that's supposed to be very good for the same. It's quite porous, isn't it? So it gets all in between your teeth. It keeps your teeth healthy, and it's supposed to be good for the bacteria. It's antifungal, and which I think is what copper is. Antifungal, antibacterial. So it's supposed to keep like your oral health very fresh, and your gut starts in your mouth. And I believe that we are deficient in copper as well, so this is a good way to get the copper in, ladies and gents. Okay, that's done. Do my camera slightly, it's a bit wonky. I'm loving how clear and crisp this camera is. So I bought the Sony ZV-1. Very pricey, but I actually bought this one second hand off someone on Marketplace, which was a little bit risky in Switzerland, so I was like, oh, she posted it. But here we are, because I was doing stuff on my phone and it just looked so horrendous, the quality. So I thought, no, I want to do this, and I want a camera that I can vlog a pregnancy journey. When we go away, we live in Switzerland, so we can travel so many places. We're so close to Italy, you know, France, some amazing, beautiful places. So I thought I want a camera so I can vlog, I can take pictures, and this does both. So I'm still getting used to the settings, so you'll have to bear with me, but I think it's great. Anyway, start off with some face toner, Shock from the brand Upcircle. I usually actually dry my face and put this on when I'm brushing my teeth, and then sort of let it soak in. I don't tend to use a cotton pad to pull it off, but maybe I should. Depends, if I'm taking makeup off, then I would double cleanse and then use a cotton pad to take it off, because sometimes it just removes some extra. But usually it's so hydrating. It's like a hydrating mist, and this has got hyaluronic acid in. So in the morning I just love putting that on first to just hydrate. I have quite dry skin. Then there's the peptide serum. I don't know if it's gonna... Oh yeah, look how professional I look. Peptide serum, which I put on next. Peptides in. Very conscious that I'm trying to look at the camera and not the screen that I can see, otherwise the whole video I'm gonna look like I have something wrong with my vision and I don't know where the camera is. I dyed my eyebrows the other day with, I'll have to show you, it's the Elior, don't know how to say that, eyebrow kit, which I swear by. I used to have HD brows and my brows done, and I just used to hate what they looked like for a while before the dye wore off, and so now I dye them myself, and I can really alter like where's darker and take off this bit first and re-dye the edges, because I have quite thinning edges. And I just think they're fabulous. Maybe not so much now because they're wearing off. I just get like really thin. I don't know why I just put more on out of habit. Anyway, then I'm going to put some face cream on of the same brand because it's delightful. They used to do a refill system where you'd send all the empty jars back and you get a discount off the product, because they are about £20 apart. Sometimes more, sometimes less. So they're not super cheap because they're not big, and you can get travel sizes, which I think is quite handy. So yeah, they used to do refill, but they've stopped doing that because they said they're working on something. I don't know what they're doing, but potentially sachets that you can buy and put into the pots, I think they said, or there was talk of. Because it is such a pain sending stuff back. You have to have the right box, the right size. and it took quite a while, to be honest, to send them back and receive them. You had to be quite organised, which I would say I am, but sometimes it would just take ages. Or you'd forget you were running low on something and then think, right, well that's that taking about a week. Oh, I love doing this in the morning. I'm going to open my lymph nodes and then do some facial with I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Gua sha, that's better. That's how you pronounce it. With a tool. In fact, maybe I'll just use the ice roller I've got. Jump straight in there. I can't count and talk at the same time, so I don't actually know how many I've done. These pyjamas as well, I absolutely love. Are from M&S, so they're 100% cotton. They're gorgeous, so comfy. I'm a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? My brain is just not working, but I'm good at finding cheaper alternatives with good quality for stuff. So I loved my sister's pyjamas off the White Company, but they were really quite expensive. Good quality, but I found these on M&S for like £40 and they're still really good quality. And they're just so comfy. And the pants are almost like you could wear them out because they're giving that chic linen vibe. Anyway, that was off topic. Face serum next. I love oils on my face. Like, I'm just not a oily person. And even so, I believe if you are oily, the oil isn't necessarily bad. I'm not so knowledgeable with skin and different types of skin, but I'm sure I'm right in saying that if you have got oily skin, you shouldn't necessarily stay away from oils because it can be to do with your skin. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to stop talking because I'm going to say the wrong thing. Now I'm going to finish with SPF. I love this SPF. I'll get too much on. SPF is so important, but the generic SPFs that we all use are probably, I shouldn't have put that behind up, probably full of shit. Well, they are, really. They're full of nasties. Sun cream especially is just full of, I can't remember the ingredient now, but it's been shown to absorb into your body within 10 minutes of application, and it's a carcinogenic ingredient. My brain is just not working at the minute. I have fully got baby brain. So yeah, generic sun cream is just not the one. Sun cream brands, you can get clean sun cream brands. I think there's a brand called Green People that I bought from before, and it's just a good sun cream, good SPF with no nasties in. Put your SPF behind your ears because that's where your sensitive skin is. Interesting as well, not that anyone cares, I had my ears pinned back when I was younger, so I have scar tissue around the back of my ears. So I have to make sure I'm putting it there because the skin will be thinner. Little dumbo over here. But yeah, sun cream is not, generic sun cream is really not good for you, and you get so many people scared of the sun that then sit in the shade, lather themselves with toxic sun cream. And the sun is one of the best things for us, it's so good for you. You just have to make sure you're within moderation, using the sun in moderation, and using good sun cream. I love the graph that goes around Instagram. I think it's the Tim Biohacker that shows the countries and the hottest countries and the rates of skin cancer, and it's not within those hottest countries, it's within our countries. Probably because we eat the wrong foods. We don't have a nice healthy Mediterranean diet, we eat the wrong foods, and that can play a role in our skin's properties and how we burn, interestingly. And then we use terrible sun cream. and we don't get a lot of sun, so when we do, we burn. I'm now using this to close everything in. I have got this gua sha tool off Amazon, the rose quartz one, which is equally lovely, but in the morning I could use that and then I sometimes use that with the oil and then finish it off with this, but I'm just going to use this. And it's gorgeous. The Skinny Confidential Ice Roller has 2 sides. It is quite pricey, it's about £90, but I love finishing on this. So gorgeous. Give it a good old wipe, and then we go in with the second side. The good thing about this roller is it's aluminium quality, so it will stay colder. The cheaper brands or the cheaper rollers you can get just won't stay as cold, and that is important. So cold on your skin is really good for keeping everything tight, anti-aging, anti-wrinkles. Shouldn't really use hot water to wash your face, it should be lukewarm and cold. See a lot of people now doing face ice baths in the morning, and it has the same effect really of just tightening everything and keeping everything gorgeous. Although ladies, if you have hormonal problems, do not do ice baths. Everyone raves about ice baths, but more and more now women are coming out and saying that they're not good for your hormones if you're living in a state of stress. So if you're living in that, is it sympathetic nervous system? Or is it the parasympathetic? I get confused. But yeah, if you're living in a high state of stress and you have high cortisol, so if you have missing periods, lack of ovulation, fatigue, anxiousness, you're likely, or if you have hormonal issues and you know you do, it's likely to do with high cortisol, because cortisol steals from your sex hormones and just really interferes with their production. So cold ice baths and cold showers are not necessarily a good thing for some people. It's very situational, and I suppose it's how long you prolonged in, does that make sense? How long you're exposed to the cold for as well. Everything in moderation, but yeah, if you're living in a state of stress, it's not good, because it's just going to induce higher cortisol, especially first thing in the morning when your cortisol's high. You don't eat, so your cortisol goes higher. You're fasting, you then go to the gym, stressing your body, your cortisol goes higher again. You then do an ice bath, like it's constant stress, stress, stress. That's why now I don't do fasted workouts, and I don't drink coffee on an empty stomach. I have decaf. It affects me. It doesn't affect some people, but it affects me. I'm already quite a stressy, anxious person, so I have to try and reduce that. What else do I not do? Yeah, I just don't do fasted workouts, which I would go for a walk or do gentle yoga, and if I'm really not hungry then maybe, but I wouldn't go and do a weighted gym session without any food. It's just not good on your body, not good for your hormones. I suppose you could, no bone broth would keep you in a fasted state. You need more carbs in you really for a workout. But yeah, ladies, stay away from them if you have high cortisol and you know you're suffering with high cortisol. But even if you're not, just nourish your body. Do those things later in the day when you've had food and your cortisol's lowering. just don't do workouts late at night, because that's always not good for your cortisol either. It can raise it. God, I sound like you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't win. You can't really win, but balance. It's all about balance. Okay, keep whacking myself with this, but that is my skincare done. And that's everything I do. How long did that take? Quite a while. That's everything that I do in the morning with my skin, feeling gorgeous and glowy. I don't put makeup on really unless I'm doing anything. Sometimes I will add this Tan Lux to my oil. I swear by it, I think it's so fabulous, even though it's full of nasties. I would sometimes put a drop of that in my oil at night, saying that I've got gorgeous new white bedding, so no, it would be first thing in the morning and I would leave it on for the day. Maybe on a Sunday when you're not putting makeup on or working out. But yeah, that's me done. I'm back and I'm out walking. I mean, look at this place. So gorgeous. The views are just amazing. How cute is that bench? Yeah, I didn't film breakfast. Usually I have the same breakfast, which is potentially quite boring. But I love it. I've been having eggs, avocado, tomatoes, some cottage cheese, some sourdough, and then I finish off with some fruit and chia seeds and pumpkin seeds. But this morning I just thought, I'm gonna make some porridge. So I didn't film it because I was winging it. Usually when I have porridge in the UK, I added the organic protein company protein powder, which is elite protein. It tastes, oh, the sun, so nice. I'm gonna squint now though. Yeah, the protein, I had the vanilla from there, it's just amazing. It's so tasty. I've never had protein powder like it, and protein powder usually is disgusting and full of so much SH1T. But this stuff is so good and just full of all the goodness, grass-fed, organic, and no fillers, no sugars, no additives. Tastes amazing, but you just can't really get it over here without paying stupid amounts on postage, which I feel like I'm gonna have to do, because porridge on its own is just not very good for the protein. You're not going to hit your 30 grams of protein in the morning with some porridge. So I did add one egg white, some Greek yogurt, pumpkin seeds, chia. I stewed some apples, which are so good for you in the morning. Stewed them with some bit of butter, water and cinnamon. My arm's going to ache doing this actually. But yeah, the apples are really good for your gut, stewed. They're really, can't get my words out, shock. But when you cook them down, they're just really good for your gut, really easy to digest. Raw fruit can be a bit tricky to digest, so that's why they say you should eat it in the morning and not in the evenings. Although I eat it all through the day because I love fruit. So yeah, anyway, I had that for my breakfast and it was actually really delicious. Lots of cinnamon, but I just didn't film it, so here I am, walking. Usually go to the gym round about now, but I had breakfast a bit late and I thought, no, I'm not feeling it. I'm going to go later, as I said in my previous snap. I'm just going to go for a gorgeous walk in the sunshine, get out in the sunshine, which is sometimes more productive than just going to the gym and being indoors. When the sun is shining, it's good for you. So yeah, I'm going to go for my walk. It takes me about an hour. It's so beautiful, this walk. You go through the forests and it's just so lovely. I love walking through the village where we live in Villars, but there is quite a bit of traffic and roadworks at the minute, so it's not very peaceful. I brought my headphones. I love listening to a podcast when I walk. What one was I listening to a minute ago? Liv Bentley, Private Parts. She had Anna Williamson on from Celebs Go Dating, really interesting. Love listening to dating and relationships and that sort of thing. And then I love the girls' bathroom. I've got one of those to catch up on, but my phone has no signal at the minute. I'm waiting for a new eSIM to come through the post so I can change to a Swiss network. So at the minute if I go out the house and I don't have Wi-Fi and I forget to download a podcast, it's kind of game over. So yeah, that's where I am. But this is like the most gorgeous place to come and read a book. I keep saying that I'm going to go to bring my book I'm reading at the minute, which is maybe now. I've read Maybe Someday, the Colleen Hoover series. Just love her books. I'm not like a massive reader, but when I find a good one, I get obsessed, and Verity was my absolute favourite. I don't know what it is about my nose at the minute. Maybe it's a pregnancy thing, but my nose is just like a tap. It's not okay. So yeah, I'll stop rambling, and I'll probably take you to the gym later because it's so exciting. So this is my favourite bit about the walk. I get to see my sister. Antonia, come on, come say hi. Oh, looks like your ass, Antonia. Super cute. Yeah, I carry on with my walk now. Just thought I'd show you that. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of my walk, and every time I look at the forests and I see these windy roads, you probably can't see them, but the roads are real S-bends. It just takes me back to the MSN days, and that video of the car driving through the forest, and it's all like la 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 la, and then right at the end the grudge like lady pops on the screen. And every time you'd watch it, make you jump. I don't know why I find that so funny, but does anyone remember that? MSN days, oh, those are the best. Yeah, I just thought I'd say that because every time I see these roads, even when I'm driving on them, if I'm not feeling sick, I'm thinking of that video, and it just makes me giggle. I find it so funny. Yeah, coming to the end of my walk now, the uphill climb back to the apartment, so the nicest day for this walk. Hello again. I'm in the gym now. I've come to do my low workout. Really cannot be bothered, but we're here. I just thought I'd quickly show you, well actually I should show you the gym. I mean, look at this for a gym. This is the studio room, which I tend to use when there's no one in it, which is rarely, to be honest. If they have classes maybe sometimes, but it's pretty chilled. And I like it down here because I can do my workout classes. Anyway, I thought I'd show you my sports wear that I'm loving. You can't really see these pants probably because I've got my ankle weights on, but these are like the best pants ever, and I've tried every gym wear brand ever. Majority of the good ones anyway, and these are H&M, and they're just a winner. I mean, look at the stretch on them. They're so compressive and they wash really well. They are the Dry Move, I think, flared leggings, and I just swear by them. They're so amazing. This is a H&M sports bra. It's got no padding in, which I love because I hate the removable inserts. I find them so annoying. But I've just ordered some more supportive bras to try, actually off Amazon, because the titties are just going all over the place and quite sore in this bra. But I also love the back of this. I hate the wide straps on sports bras. I find they really cut into my shoulders. I just don't like them. So anyway, I'm rambling, but yeah, I just thought I'd tell you these are the best sports leggings ever. Not very hormone related, and sportswear is not very hormone friendly, but there we are. The second best runner up for me on sportswear is Adanola. I love Adanola. I just find it a bit thin sometimes. If you want more compressive, thick, these are more wintry style. I don't really need compressive at the minute because everything's stretching, so Adanola fits beautifully as well. But yeah, I'm rambling, so I'm going to go now. I'm going to go do my low workout, and I'll see you later. Hello again, everybody, and good evening. This is me closing off today's probably quite boring vlog, but I hope it gives you an insight into Switzerland life and some of the things that I do right now, which is not very exciting. But But yeah, I had a good gym session. I did a 30-minute lower YouTube lower workout, and then I finished with 30 minutes swimming. I've been really enjoying swimming, although I find it so annoying when there's people in the pool. They've got all the space and then they come right next to you and do the most annoying breaststroke or butterfly or whatever you want to call it, that just sends like a ricochet through the pool, and I'm there just this proper mum swim, trying to just chill out, get some cardio in. I find it quite hard, I'm not the best swimmer, and then you just get these proper, you know, goggles and those hats that they wear, which to be honest I probably should get one because I'm so sick of every time I go having to blow dry my hair. But anyway, that's a different story. Yeah, just causing a right bracket and mess and just splashing everywhere. Anyway, I'm not going to moan because I had a really nice session. I've come back, had some dinner, had a shower, blow dried my hair, and now I'm enjoying a peppermint tea. And I've got my blue light blocking glasses on. They're simply gorgeous. I don't know what brand these are now, I forgot. I'll have to look them up, but yeah, these are really good for in the evening. They help with your hormones, your circadian rhythm. So in the morning, the light outside causes the cortisol to rise and tells us to get up and get out there for the day. And then in the evening, when the darkness comes in and the light drops, our melatonin rises. But because we spend so much time on our phones, watching TVs, looking at screens, it messes with our circadian rhythm and our hormones and basically tells us that it's still light outside. So I wear these when I'm watching TV or on my phone to try and just help bring that cortisol down and get that melatonin up so I feel sleepy, because I'm not a naturally good switcher offer, if that makes sense. So yeah, every little helps. Forgotten the brand. I think, is it just blue light blocking glass? I don't know. But yeah, they're gorgeous anyway. So yeah, this is me clocking out, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching.